The following is a feature presentation of SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network.
The Chicago Bears are back in the playoffs and in dominant fashion for the first time in a long time. But the opponent they have to face is one they are quite familiar with, the Philadelphia Eagles, a team who, the last time they played them in the playoffs, beat them off of a double doink missed field goal. And now, the Bears want revenge on a potential Tecmo Super Bowl run. Welcome everybody to the second of our Wild Card weekend games here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. Hello everybody, I am your host and broadcaster Joe. What a season it has been for the Chicago Bears. Only a quarter or so away from potentially being the NFC North champions and getting a first round bye, but they have to play in the wild card. But they are still a dangerous team for anybody in the NFC to have to play in the playoffs. This is a team that went 11-5 and had a massive winning streak around the middle to end of the season. If it weren't for the Packers beating them in the final game of the season, this Bears team would have been on a 7-game winning streak. And that's not to count the fact that the Packers also separated that 6-game winning streak they instead had from another 3-game winning streak they had in the middle of the season that started right after their bye week. So this is definitely a team you need to watch out for. Can anybody in the wild card stop them? Well, if there were any team that could potentially match up against them, it is the Philadelphia Eagles, a team who has been pretty good, all things considered. They are a 10-6 team. That's not bad overall. And these two teams have had a season of ups and downs, but mainly ups. You know, this is an Eagles team that comes into this being the winner of the NFC East. This Bears team, though, can still be very dangerous. Both of these teams in top 10 for points scored in the league. Not so much with points allowed. There's a big difference. This Eagles team has not allowed as many points. They've only allowed 500 compared to 574 for the Bears, which is, it's decent, but for a playoff team, that is not necessarily great. In terms of the point differential, this Eagles and Bears team, again, in the top 10, but the Eagles at 4th, so definitely something that you'll have to watch out for if you are Chicago. In terms of everything else, well, they're both top 10 in terms of overall offense, so that's definitely something good to look forward to. This is definitely going to be a high-scoring game. No one's going to doubt that one. In terms of the passing game, though, that is where you get a massive difference because Caleb Williams has been on a tear as the rookie and has put the Bears at third place in terms of total passing yards, behind only the Bengals, who have the best record in the league, and the Cowboys, who aren't even in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, very much middle of the pack in that regard. And in terms of running yardage, that's completely flipped, where the Bears are kind of just middle of the pack, actually in the bottom half of the league. Meanwhile, the Eagles are in third place, behind two playoff teams in the Ravens and the Colts. The Ravens, who you might have seen earlier when they played against the Jets. Now, these teams are not necessarily all that great when it comes to defensive yardage. They're both in the bottom half of the league. That's not exactly great. So this is going to be two high-flying offenses. That much is certain. The Eagles actually in the bottom three in terms of passing defense, and in terms of rushing defense, they're both all right. However, in terms of rushing defense, that is where the Eagles shine. So if Chicago tries to go on the run, Philadelphia might be able to stop them. If they try to go through the air, though, that is going to be another story entirely. These are two teams that are both ready to try for a deep playoff run. Chicago hasn't had one since they were just short of getting to the Super Bowl back in 2010. Meanwhile, the Eagles trying to make it back to the Tecmo Super Bowl after being there 2 years ago. So this should be a fun one. How will these two teams do? We'll find out. We're going to take a small break, and when we come back to you, we're going to take you down to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And here we are in Philadelphia. The Bears are going to call tails. It is heads, so the Eagles will elect to return this one. So, Cairo Santos to kick it off. And meanwhile, Isaiah Rodgers will be back to return this one for Philadelphia. Let's see how the NFC can do after a pretty good AFC matchup. As Rodgers is going to take this one up to the 22, it looks like. So, 1st and 10 for Philadelphia. Hurts dropping back to try and get this one on a throw for Devontae Smith. And he's going to get into Chicago territory at the 31. Let's take a look quickly at that Philadelphia Eagles offense. Jalen Hurts, 5th year in the league, 4th year as the full-time starter for Philadelphia. He's been doing great work for him. Behind him is not going to be Saquon Barkley, who got injured a couple weeks ago, but instead will be Kenneth Gainwell in his 4th year out of Memphis. At the wide receiver positions, you got Jahan Dotson, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith. Meanwhile, Dallas Goedert, the tight end for the Eagles, is lining up on the line alongside Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, Tyler Steen, Jordan Mailata, and Lane Johnson. Nick Sirianni in his 4th year as Eagles head coach, and the offensive coordinator is 1st-year offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. First and 10 for the Eagles in Chicago territory. Handoff. No, play action by Hurts. He fooled me. A throw to his right for Devontae Smith, who dives for the touchdown. And the Eagles strike first in this one. A very quick set of scores. Only a 2-play drive. Did not take off too much time on the clock. And so the Jalen Elliott extra point is good. He will be kicking it off. And Roschon Johnson will be back to return this one. And Johnson going to get up to the 25 and down around the 25-26. And unfortunately, that is going to be doing it for him. So with him, Velus Jones Jr., and Khalil Herbert out, that means they're going to rely on Tyler Scott for kick and punt returns. So 1st and 10 for Chicago. Williams dropping back. Rookie gets the throw off, nearly deflected a throw for DJ Moore. And look at DJ Moore make a run. Have to dive up behind him to take him down at about the Philadelphia 27. I told you this was going to be a high-flying offensive duel. We got a shootout on our hands. Another throw for Moore, and he's going to get the first down here pretty easily. Got exactly 10. Had to dive for it, but he got it. 1st and 10 for Chicago. Swift going to get taken down behind the line for loss of 4. Let's take a look at that Chicago Bears starting offense. Caleb Williams, the USC rookie, taking this league by storm. The offensive rookie of the year, that's for sure. DeAndre Swift lining up behind him, the former Detroit Lion. Coincidentally, a former Chicago Bear, plays for the Detroit Lions. That's David Montgomery. You'll be seeing him on Monday. Roma Dunze, the rookie out of Washington, is one of the wide receivers alongside DJ Moore, who came over from Carolina and is the reason why the Bears were able to draft Caleb Williams in that big trade. And Keenan Allen, who is in his 12th year in the league. Cole Kmet is the tight end for Chicago, and he's lining up on the line alongside Ryan Bates, Tevin Jenkins, Nate Davis, Braxton Jones, and Darnell Wright. Matt Eberflus in his 3rd year as the Bears head coach, and the offensive coordinator is Shane Waldron. 2nd and 4 for Chicago. Williams going to play action and roll to his right. A throw for Moore in the end zone, and he's got the touchdown easily. And just like that, Chicago has tied this game up. We are in for a back and forth, folks. This game has just started, and it is already back to being tied. That one went off the upright, but is good, which I'm sure Bears fans are happy to have happen this time. Rodgers will be back to return this. He'll take it from about the 7 and get to about the 23. Let's take a look at the Chicago Bears starting defense. DeMarcus Walker, Andrew Billings, and Gervin Dexter are lining up on the defensive line. And the linebackers are TJ Edwards, Kyler Gordon, Tremaine Edmonds, and Montez Sweat. Sweat has quite a bit of familiarity with Philadelphia, having formerly played for Washington. Tyreek Stevenson and Jalen Johnson are the corners, while the safeties are Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker. Eric Washington, in his first year as Chicago's defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator, is Richard Hightower. 1st and 10 for Philadelphia on their own 18. A toss for Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell not going to get too far, only gets about 5 on that one. Saquon Barkley got injured in the Cowboys-Eagles game a couple weeks ago, which is why they're without him. And DeMarcus Walker there to take down Hurts. And he makes it hurt. Sends him back to make it 3rd and 10. Hurts with the play action. A throw to his right for Devontae Smith, who dives for it, and he gets right back up and gets into Chicago territory for the first down at around the 49. 1st and 10, Philadelphia. Hurts going to toss this for Gainwell. Gainwell running along the far sideline and down around the 40, and that is not good. Now Kenneth Gainwell is injured, so that means that they're going to have to rely on their 3rd stringer, which is Will Shipley, a rookie out of Clemson. 2nd and 3 for Philadelphia. Hurts going to hand this off to Shipley, and he's not going to get too far, but he gets enough for the first down. 1st and 10 for the Eagles on their own, on the Bears 38. A toss for Dallas Goedert is incomplete, but there were some blue jerseys in the area, so you got to be careful there with that throw. 2nd and 10, Hurts going to try and run forward, breaks a tackle, taking it himself. Look at this man run. He's got the first down, and he's still going. Can he score? He will! Touchdown, Eagles! And how about that? Improvising. Something you don't expect out of Jalen Hurts, but he does it well when he needs to. Kick by Elliott, nearly blocked, but it is through. It's 14-7, and we're still in the first quarter. So Tyler Scott back to return this one in his 2nd year out of Cincinnati. Takes it from about the 3, maybe the 4-yard line. Comes down at the 20. 1st and 10 for Chicago. Williams going to play action. Roll to his right. Looking for somebody open. Throws for his fellow rookie Roma Odunze. He's got the first down. Both of those two alumni of former Pac-12, now Big Ten schools, who they changed over the offseason in college football. As Williams going to look and throw to his left for Keenan Allen, who dives for it but can't connect with him. Incomplete. Let's take a look at that Philadelphia Eagles defense, by the way. Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter are the defensive linemen. At the linebacker positions, you got Josh Sweat, rookie Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo, Nakobe Dean, and Bryce Huff. Isaiah Rodgers and Darius Slay are the corners for the Eagles. And meanwhile, Reed Blankenship and C.J. Gardner-Johnson are your safeties. Vic Fangio in his first year as defensive coordinator for the Eagles, at least with this tenure. And the special teams coordinator is Michael Clay. 2nd and 10 for Chicago. Williams going to play action and roll to his right. Going to throw this one for Moore, who's deep downfield, and he might have just gotten this score. He will. Touchdown, Bears. The monsters of the Midway tying it up quickly. I told you this was going to be a shootout, and it is proving to be so. We still haven't left the first quarter yet, and this game is already tied up at 14, and we still got a minute and a half to go. Can Philadelphia score with that? Anything's possible. Rodgers going to take this from his own end zone, about 3 yards back, and taken down around the 12. 1st and 10 for Philadelphia. Man in motion. Hurts going to hand this one off to Shipley, and he's not going to get too far, only gained about 3. 2nd and 7. A toss for Shipley. He's going to run along the far side, avoids one potential tackle, but only gets about 6. 3rd and 1. Ball on the 21-yard line. A toss for Shipley, and the defense there to take him down 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So the Eagles have to punt this one, and it's going to be Braden Mann, his 5th year out of Texas A&M. And meanwhile, Tyler Scott going to take this from about the 28 and down around the 35, and that's how we're going to end the first quarter. Tie game at 14. 1st and 10 for Chicago. Williams stepping back, looking and throwing for more, incomplete. This game is really going to come down to which defense can break through first. And can they keep it consistent, as Williams going to get wrapped up, and Jalen Carter there with the sack. So 3rd and 17 for Chicago. Shotgun formation for Williams. Looking for an open man. Throwing to his left for Keenan Allen, who's deep downfield. He's got the first down. He's into Philadelphia territory. Now he gets into the red zone before he's finally taken down around the 11. 1st and 10 for Chicago in fantastic field position. Was Chicago's defense able to help them out enough? They throw for Keenan Allen in the back of the end zone, incomplete. There were some green helmets. You got to be careful there. 2nd and 10. Toss for DeAndre Swift, who's running along the far sideline and down around the 3 for the gain of 8. 3rd and 2. Toss for Swift yet again, but the defense there to take him down. So that means the Bears got to go with the field goal. Cairo Santos got to make a 25-yarder, it looks like. Kick on the way. It's up, and it's good. So it's 17-14 Chicago Bears. So Rodgers will be back to return this kick from Santos. He'll take it from the 3. Gets to the 10. Now down to about the 16. So 1st and 10 for Philadelphia starts there. Toss for Shipley. Shipley going to run back and forth between the far side and the inside. Gains 7 on that run. Some good misdirection. So 2nd and 3. Hurts going to take it himself. And he is going to get taken down a little bit past the line of scrimmage for the gain of 2. 3rd and 1. Hurts going to try and take it again. And this time he's really getting through as he's taken down around the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for Philly starts there. Shotgun formation for Hurts. Looking for an open man. Got to find somebody. Throwing it deep downfield. Incomplete. The only one that was in the area was Devontae Smith. 2nd and 10. Hurts in shotgun. Looking for somebody open. Gonna toss this one to his left for A.J. Brown. And Brown avoids a tackle as he gets the first down into Chicago territory and down at the 42. So 1st and 10. Play action by Hurts. Gonna throw this one for Devontae Smith downfield. And Smith's wide open for the touchdown. So the Bears were not able to score a touchdown on their drive. The Eagles capitalize on their defensive success. And the extra point on the way is good. 21-17 Eagles. And Scott will be back to return this one. He'll take it from about the 15. Or about the 5, I apologize. Gets up to the 15. 1st and 10 with 3.5 to go. Man in motion for Chicago. Williams going to get this one off for Cole Kmet, who's got the first down and still going as he gets into Philly territory. Fights for a little bit extra, but doesn't get too much. Down to the 46-47 of the Eagles. 1st and 10 for Chicago there. Handoff for Swift. Trying to go back and forth. Looked like he was trying to do some misdirection on the defense there. Only gained 3. So 2nd and 7 was on the 43. Throw over the middle for Adunze, and Adunze breaks free. He's still going, and he's finally going to get taken down around the 7. 1st and goal for Chicago there. Hand off to Swift. Swift trying to run it through. Only got 6. Second and goal on the 1. Williams stepping back. Gonna try and throw this one to his left for Komet, but he can't connect with him. Incomplete. 2 minutes to go. Man in motion for Chicago. Toss for Swift. Swift tries running along the far side, but doesn't get very far at all. Taken down behind the line for a loss of 5. So after the Bears call their first timeout of the game, they're going to go with the field goal. This will be a 24-yarder. Santos' kick on the way is good. 21-20. We got a 1-point game, actually, here in Philadelphia. Isaiah Rodgers will be back to return this one from the goal line. And going to get to the 14, probably more like 13, once he's taken down. Shotgun formation for Hurts on this 1st and 10. Hurts looking and throwing for Brown to his left, and A.J. Brown leaps up to grab this one. He's going to get into Chicago territory easily. He's still going. I don't think he's going to score, but he's going to definitely get into the red zone. That's good field position for Philadelphia before halftime, as they're going to call their first timeout. They need to score because Chicago is going to get the ball back to start the second half. Hurts, throw to his left for Brown. I think he got it. He did. He got enough for the first down and goal at the 3. As the Eagles called their second time out of the game. 30 seconds to go. Men in motion for Philadelphia. Hurts going to take it himself. The QB sneak is successful. And the Eagles get higher on the board. Makes it 27-20, 28-20 if this extra point can go through by Jake Elliott. And it's good. 28-20 we are at. And this will probably be the last thing that we see before halftime. Scott taking this from about the 2. Fortunately for him, he'll get another chance regardless of how he does. But he's going pretty deep. And get to about the 24 before he's taken down. But that's going to do it for the first half of football here in the Keystone State as the Eagles take the 28-20 lead. Going to be interesting to see how Chicago responds in the second half. A reminder to you all that we still got 2 games left in this wild card weekend. First, we got a game tomorrow back in the AFC as Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns head out west to take on Anthony Richardson and the NFC South champion Indianapolis Colts. Then, it's a battle down south in the Peach State as Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions head to take on the NFC South champion Atlanta Falcons, being led by Kirk Cousins. And that's all coming up for you this week. Wild Card Weekend here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. So Chicago back to return this one. Scott will take this from about the 2. He's going to get up to the 15 and down to the 17. Actually 18, my apologies. 1st and 10 for Chicago. Williams stepping back and trying to run forward with this, but he's taken down by Milton Williams, who gets the sack. What a season he's been having, honestly. Honestly, this Eagles defense has been kind of underrated in my opinion. As Sweat gonna take this one up to make it 3rd and 12. Shotgun formation for Williams. Gotta look for an open man. Throwing to his left for Adunze, who's got this one. He's into Philly territory, and he's down around the 36 of the Eagles. These midway monsters are impressive. As Williams going to get this one off in time for Adunze. No! It's intercepted by Darius Slay! And that is not a mistake you want to make against this Eagles team. Certainly not when their offense is as good as what they are, but Shipley only going to get 1 yard. They're still in their own territory, thankfully, for the Bears. As Hurts going to throw this one to his over the middle for Dallas Goedert. I thought that was going left. So that's a 1st down for Philadelphia on their own 38. Hurts going to play action on this 1st and 10. Going to throw this one to his left for Jahan Dotson, the former Commander. He's got the 1st down and more as he's going to take it to about the 34, 33 of the Bears. 1st and 10, Chicago. Hurts and shotgun. Looking for an open man. Going to his left for Dallas Goedert, who dives for it but can't quite connect with him. 2nd and 10. Bears defense needs to come through big time. As Hurts going to take this one running into alignment as Gervin Dexter, the left end, going to take him down for the loss of yardage there. 2nd and 16, play action by Hurts. Throwing to his right for Devontae Smith, and he's got this one! Touchdown, Eagles! And how about this Eagles offense and what they have been up to? Jalen Hurts doing good work for them. As Elliott's kick on the way, we might have an upset brewing here in Philadelphia. Scott will be back to return this. He'll take it from about the 5. And he'll get up to the 20. 25, 30, still going, 35, 40. He's still going down at the 45 of the Bears. Amazing return there for 40 yards. 1st and 10 for Chicago starts there as DeAndre Swift can get into Philadelphia. My tongue's getting twisted for all the excitement as Swift gets down at the 27 of the Eagles. 1st and 10 for Chicago. Williams stepping back, throwing to his left for Keenan Allen, and it's intercepted again! This time it's C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now, the last time the Bears were in a playoff game, he was playing for the Saints, and he got hit in the face by a Bears offensive player during that game. In a season where he was not having a good season, so he wants some revenge against Chicago, as Shipley going to get up to the 20. 3rd and 8 for Philadelphia as Hurts going to get sacked by Tremaine Edmonds to force the 4th down, sending him back 10 yards. So the Eagles got a punt. So Chicago not done yet. Plus, there is still plenty of time left in this game. Scott going to take this punt from man back from the 30 and gets to about the 38, it looks like. 1st and 10 for Chicago. Williams with men in motion. Dropping back. Throwing this one to his right for DJ Moore, who's wide open. Avoids it being intercepted. And he's going to take this one into a goal-to-go territory. And down at the 1. I thought he was going to score for a second. 1st and goal at the 1. Williams going to hand this off to Swift, who runs it in for the touchdown. So Chicago not out of this one yet. As the Eagles going to try and retaliate. Chicago's defense, meanwhile, going to try and hold them off to get the ball back. They're down by 8, so they need to score and then score again. As this one going to be taken from Rodgers out of the end zone. Going to get up to the 15, now to the 20. Still going down to the 26, though. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Hurts dropping back. Gonna try and run forward now. Throws it for A.J. Brown. And Brown, look at this man go. What a weapon he has been since the Eagles traded for him from Tennessee. Hurts going to take this one up the middle himself. And gets only about 2. Looks like the defense was prepared for that. 2nd and 8. Toss for Shipley. And he's going to get taken down back behind where the set of downs started. For the loss of 4. 3rd and 12. Hurts in shotgun formation. Gonna throw this one in. It's deflected. Looks like that was headed for Dallas Goedert if it wasn't. So the Eagles got a punt with 10 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Can the Bears capitalize off what their defense was able to do? Scott going to be in the end zone for this one, so it's a touchback. And we're going to go into the 4th quarter with the Eagles up by 8. Shotgun formation for Williams. Man in motion. Got to get this one off as the defense is coming through. Roma Dunze has to dive for it. And he gets the 5-yarder on that one. 2nd and 5. Williams going to hand this off to Swift, who gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage, sending back 4 yards. 3rd and 9 on what looks to be about the 25 or 26. As Swift going to take this along the far side. Doesn't get too far. And the Bears got to go for it on this 4th and 3. They got to score and score again. Toss for Swift, and the defense there for him. Taking him back a few yards. Looked like about 5 or 6. As Hurts dropping back. Going to try and run forward with this one. Taking it himself. A design run. And he's going to score immediately. Touchdown for the Eagles. And this Philadelphia team showing that you don't want to underestimate them like I think the Bears might have done. As Elliott's kick on the way is through. 42-27. How about these Eagles and what they have been doing? Scott going to be back to return this. He'll take it from about the 4-yard line. Going to get up to the 15 before he's taken down at the 18. 1st and 10 for Chicago. It's not over yet, but they are trailing by 3 scores. Williams going to try and run forward into alignment with Jordan Davis there to take him down. 2nd and 14. Chicago's got to do something. Williams going to throw this one to his right for DJ Moore. Dives for it, but can't quite connect with him. Incomplete. 3rd and 14. Looks like the Eagles' defense has been really adjusting. A throw over the middle for Roma Dunze. He's got it. He's got the first down and a little bit extra. Gets to the 30 of the Bears, but they got to keep on going. Toss for DeAndre Swift. Swift going to get wrapped up. Tries to break through, but can't quite do so. Only gained about 6. 2nd and 4. Williams going to try and get this one off to his left for Kmet, but it's intercepted yet again by Darius Slay. Oh, you know this rookie is not happy with that. He's had a good season, but it looks like the Eagles' defense might be too much for him. As Shipley going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Barring a miracle, this might be over. As Hurts going to take it himself and gets to about the 30. Going to be very interesting to see who the Eagles play in the next round, whether it's Green Bay or San Francisco. Shipley going to take this one and gets to about the 31-ish. Actually, 29, I apologize. So the Eagles on this 4th and 2 just going to go with a field goal to make this 15-point lead become an 18-point lead. Doinks off the left upright, but it is good. 45-27. How about these Eagles and what they've been able to do on offense? Very few mistakes. Their defense has come through big time. This is you gotta be feeling good if you're a Philadelphia fan. Is Scott gonna take this up to the 30? 35-40. Still on his feet. 45-50 and down at around the 48, it looks like, of the Eagles. So Bears need a miracle and a half. I don't know if they're going to get it with that strip sack. And it's recovered by Milton Williams, who's taking it back the other way. Same guy who stripped Caleb Williams of the ball. Takes the ball and gets it in a really good field position for Philadelphia. A toss for Shipley. He's going to run along the far side. And he's going to get taken down around the 5-yard line. So now the Eagles, just one score is going to easily put this away if it hasn't already. And the Bears calling their first timeout. Hurts going to just take it in and run it himself. Touchdown. Amazing work once again by that Eagles offense. We said they would be dangerous. And this game started out being close, but in the second half, it ended up being all Eagles. 52-27. Bears got to figure out what went wrong in this one and try to improve themselves in the offseason, that's for sure. Scott going to take this from the 5. And this is with the Eagles having to go into their 3rd string running back, too. Perhaps Saquon will be healthy going into the next round as that pass deflected. 2nd and 10 for Chicago. Bears season, you can still consider this a very good season for them, considering they at least got to the playoffs. As Bears going to get to the 22, and they will call their final timeout. 3rd and 4. Williams dropping back. A throw to the left. That's deflected, but looks like it might have been heading for Keenan Allen. 4th and 4. They're going to go for it. And Williams going to hand this off to DeAndre Swift, who's got the first down. And gets a little bit more spice on it. He's taking it down around the 28 or 29. Now the Bears call their final timeout. I was incorrect before. And 1st and 10, Williams. Play action, roll to the right. And he's going to throw this one towards Keenan Allen. But there were some green helmets in the area. So nearly picked off. 2nd and 10. Williams going to throw this one for Moore deep downfield. And Moore going to get into Philadelphia territory. Bears just trying to play for pride in this garbage time. They know they're not going to win this one. But they want to at least get as many points as they can. Try to get a little bit more experience, especially for Caleb Williams, who has done pretty well. Maybe even get some chemistry before the offseason. Williams going to get wrapped up and taken down by Milton Williams, though. Still, even though he's not going to come away with a win, you got to admit, Caleb Williams has done phenomenal for a rookie so far this season. That throw out of bounds. It's going to be interesting watching his career, especially when you compare him to the rest of this very QB-rich class that we saw. DeAndre Swift going to take this one up the far side and down around the 34, and that is it. The Eagles come away with the 52-27 victory, and they are going to be moving on to the divisional round, where we'll find out on Monday, are they going to be playing San Francisco or are they going to be playing Green Bay? Meanwhile, Chicago, you can't exactly blame them. Their defense for Philadelphia is just a little too strong for them. And that's going to do it for us here today. A reminder that we will have 2 more games left in the wild card. Tomorrow will be Browns and Colts, and then on Monday, we've got Lions and Falcons. And then to come back here next week for the divisional round, we'll find out some of the games tomorrow, and then the rest on Monday. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody!